Thank you. I had this in my knapsack, and I wasn't going to bring it out, so I went back and got it. And you said that, Mindy, about blessed unrest, because when I wrote the book, I was reading a lot of books, doing a lot of research, and the data seemed unbelievable, really, about how many of us are out there and what we're doing. And the book I read every day, though, was this book. I don't know if you know this book. It's called 1,000 Women for Peace, and it was a movement started in 2003 by a Swiss woman who wanted 1,000 different women leaders to win the Nobel Peace Prize. And it's a fantastic book, and I recommend it, especially to the women here, maybe more to the men, I don't know. But every day I would read 2 or 3 pages of this book. And what it's about is women who lead. And what is astonishing about it is that we don't know their names. And we know the names of so many men who, with all due respect, I don't think are leaders, but who are called leaders, you know. And we're so reminded of that by the incident in the Gulf, the BP blowout. And, you know, we can remember how often indigenous people from around the world have said that, she is alive. The earth really is alive. It's beyond James Lovelock. And it really is, you know. And here finally we feel this puncture, this wound, and this gushing out of ancient sunlight, you know, at 50,000 pounds per square inch, you know, pouring out of the earth, you know. And we can forgive the men who regulated it. We can forgive the fact that they're corrupt. We can forgive the fact that they've been watching porn movies on our expense in government offices. We can forgive a lot of things, but what we can't forgive is that they really didn't do something which you see here, which is they didn't include the community in their decision making. And when we look at what's happening to the earth, and not just this, the acidification of the ocean, the loss of fisheries, or the desecration of water and our land and of our children, the obese corporations trying to make our children obese. I mean, all of that, what we see and understand is that we don't go to those people who are paying the highest price for the lack of sustainability. And those are women, those are children, and those are localized poor. And if we want to know what to do, we simply have to ask. You don't ask the people who caused the problem how to solve it. You just don't. You ask the people who are at effect of the problem. And so what I love about the Women's Earth Alliance is that it's doing something that is fundamental to healing, which is it's co-locating the people who have the information and who have the experience with decisions. And if you put the decision-making body of people together with the people who have the direct experience of what it's like to not make a good decision or to be effective decisions that are made far away in distant places by people who are entirely disconnected from the sacredness of place and of land and of people. You have the world today. That's what it looks like. Right? So, Mary Oliver cautions us that to not think if you breathe a little that you have a life. And again, what I see in Ria is this huge breath, this huge inhale, this huge exhale. There's tears, there's dancing, there's joy, there's consecration, there's this willingness, to recognize that if we're going to heal, we need leaders, and those leaders are here. have to stop looking for love in all the wrong places. And it ain't in the Beltway, you know. And I'm sorry, and I know Amy's here, it wasn't in Copenhagen in December, right? It's not where we're going to get leadership and change in this world. You know, it's going to come from the grassroots. God bless us if we get, you know, uncorrupt, wonderful leaders. It happens once in a while, but we can't count on them. Right? And if we're going to breathe, then we have to also feel that this room tonight is an organism. We're a family. We've gathered together because of our enormous respect for these women, you know, and not just the staff women, but many of the women who aren't here tonight, and we saw some in the video, but others who we did not. And that means to inhale and exhale together, and also that means to, you know, we take in resources and we give them out, you know, and money is a resource. And so we become alive when we take in and we give out. We don't become alive when we just take in and we shallow breathe. And we can't shallow breathe with our resources and our money either. Right? Because we won't get there, the place we need to be, if we do that. And I want to acknowledge all of you tonight for being here, for having the kindness and the generosity to support these extraordinary women. And I just feel that we are all so blessed and fortunate to be at the beginning. We were here last year, many of us, and we're here, this is the second year, but to be at the incipients, at the beginning of something that's really so grand and so amazing and so sweet and so wonderful. We know all of us are involved with nonprofits in some way, but this is one of the most special NGOs in the world. And I just want to acknowledge the true leadership that's in our midst, that we see, that sings and dances and plays and has fun and changes the world. So thank